Hello, Magi here, and today we're going to be playing a new game called Sengoku Gensokyo, if I'm correct. You guys will see the title of the bloody video, so you guys will know what that is. So this is a new game as mentioned because we're done with the Attorney series, Touhou Attorney Vaya. So I'm trying to remember, I think this is a visual novel. I tried like 2 minutes of it, and it was just a lot of text in a visual novel format, I believe. So I think that's it. I'm trying to remember what this is exactly. Like, I downloaded a bunch of games when I was trying to figure out what game to play later on. Because Attorney was also one of the games I was planning on doing. So after the games I picked, I chose Attorney for the series I wanted to continue. So this game I downloaded long ago, and I try to remember what it was. No clue exactly, but we're just gonna play it as to be expected. Let's see options. Yeah, sure, why not? Why not? Actually, we can use faster text speed, that never hurts. Let's start it up. You see how fast the text speed is, actually. The Hakurei Shrine. Alright, you can just double click it to make it quick. Shrine located away from the human village, flanked by rows of trees, visited mostly by non-humans. From there, one could survey all of Gensokyo, enjoying the beauty of the four seasons. I'm gonna have to move a mic because it's kind of blocking the text a little bit. I think that should be fine, yes. However, due to the long trek to the shrine from the village, okay, there we go, and the rumors of yokai constantly gathering at the shrine, it became a place where normal humans did not dare to tread. Thus, the humans who did visit the shrine tended to be those even more dangerous than yokai. The head of the shrine who has to deal with them must have quite a difficult job. Yet, thanks to the aforementioned head, who was perhaps the most dangerous of them all, the shrine today was once again the scene of a peaceful, warm, and friendly environment. Today, like every other day, was yet another enjoyable occasion in the life of Reimu Hakurei. The end. It's not the end. No, it's not. The Hakurei Shrine, surrounded by young trees, spreading their beautiful green feathers to the floor, the shrine maiden bearing the Hakurei name stood under the shadows, skillfully sweeping the leaves away. Humming? Well, this should do it. The real thing is going to start soon, though. She stood in front of the leaves she swept and sighed. The pile of green was a mere molehill now, but in 2 months, the molehill will become a mountain. The real thing, the season of falling leaves was not far away. When the temperature is high, the leaves barely fall, and as the temperature gets lower, the amount of leaves to sweep increases. The world is quite convenient. That be called the law of conservation of momentum. A bright and cheerful voice matching the atmosphere emerged from the area around Reimu. What's that supposed to mean? It means you sweat the same amount no matter the season. The person walked straight towards Reimu, her footsteps reverberating lightly. It was a magician in black clothes, Marissa Kirisame. She had a broom in one hand and a fearless grin on her face. The girl could take to the skies using her trademark broom. She did not actually need the broom to fly, but due to her belief that witches always use a broom to fly, she was never seen flying without one. Oh my, sweat is actually a very precious thing and should be appreciated, you know? Methinks that has a deeper meaning than you are giving it. Do you know why I swept the fallen leaves every day? There's something off, like the art style. I don't know. Is it just me or does it feel a little off, like done by different people? I could be wrong. It just feels a little off. The eyes, the way the eyes are created and colored, even the hair outline. There's a lot of black lines over the character, while Reimu's it's not really black outline to it. I don't know. I just feel like it's done by a different person. That's what I feel. Anyways, continue on. This is a Shinto ritual. The swish of the broom is a dance for the gods. The leaves are offerings. I thought that was just because that shit was just messing up your place, but yeah, that works too. That works too. Hey, might as well make a meaning out of it, apparently. And And the sweat is the nectar of the gods. The gods become satisfied upon viewing such a ritual. To each their own, I guess, because seeing sway shrine maidens is a very attractive thing for gods. I mean, I guess they like the look of it. Very tasteful. Hey man, I'm not these gods. I can't make up. I couldn't make this shit up if I wanted to. Okay. They will then bless us with an abundant harvest. Huh? I didn't know that. I thought you were just being your usual carefree self, but you're actually working hard. Huh? That's pretty surprising. You think? I'm surprised too. I'm surprised that you so easily believe what I just came up with on the spot. Okay, so it's not. She was bullshitting us. You know what? I can accept that. I can accept that. You sure have faith in your fate after death, huh? With a tiny grin, she shrugged her shoulders. Her words may have sounded unhappy, but their conversations were always for the enjoyment and wit, so the subject never really mattered to either of them. So just before I continue on, if the tone is not the tone, the dialogue is a little more different because I think this is the first visual novel game I've dealt with as so far that's been in a third-person view. As you know, it's mentioning like a third-person type of view, as compared to like the other visual novels, they're usually based on the character's perspective, like, you know, attorney with Aya, the busy person, they just go back and forth between each characters. So there's a little difference. I'm trying to think what else. ESR was a first person visual novel based on Marissa. So I think it's the first one I can recall as of this moment. That's the third person. So it is a little different for me because I don't know, just reading this off loud, it's really different now. Not what I'm prepared, but you know what? I didn't even know what this game was about, kinda, except for a visual novel. That's all I got. So, you know what? Let's just work with that. So, what are you here for today? You shouldn't need to ask, eh? It's just a customary greeting. It must be nice to be so free every day. Hey, I'm not exactly free, you know. I'm busy trying to find ways to spend all my free time. Kinda defeating the purpose? I've got a sudden craving for some fish with thyme, actually. Want to come along with me? I guess that's one of the better ways to kill something. I know a certain maid who's really good at recipes with thyme in them. You don't say. The girls spent all the free time they had enjoying life as they knew it. But while the usual day was carefree, some unusual days would pop up where the usual suspects would cause uproars. And those with Shrift and Gensokyo would proceed to handle the situation horribly. This time, the incident all began from the plan of a certain yokai. I'll make that wish come true. Whoa, what? The voice came from behind Marissa, roughly at the hall of worship. But there was no one there, only the echo of the voice and its words remained. I am the god of the Hakurei Shrine. If you wish for me to solve your problems of free time, procure some dishes with thyme as your offering to me. That's a pretty cheap-minded god. Hey man, if it works, it works. Reimu took out a familiar needle as she sighed. It was an anti-demon needle used for yokai extermination. With a flick of the wrist, the needle flew in a seemingly aimless direction. Ouch! The dull sound of the needle piercing something in the air was accompanied by a cry of pain that echoed throughout the grounds. Eventually, a crack showed itself in the sky and a shadow emerged from the gap. It was the border manipulating yokai of enormous power, Yukari Yakumo. Alright. How violent. Alright, this one looks like it's done by the same person. You could have ruined my clothes, you know. Ow, ow. She plucked out the needle from her behind with an unpleasant frown. The needle seemed to have pierced the top of her clothes, but as she removed it, no traces of damage could be seen. Since when did you become the main god of the shrine? Why not? I'm always watching over you from the moment you wake up till the moment you sleep after all. That's not creepy at all. Don't say such creepy things. I know, right? Why don't you go and get your own food yourself, or get your henchmen to get you some instead of asking me? They're not my henchmen, they're Shikigami. Anyway, leaving the eating part aside, you all were wondering how to spend your free time, no? Well, yeah, something like that. So here, I've got something that'll fix that problem in no time. You sound like a door-to-door salesman. Well then, do at least listen to my sales pitch fully. You over there, don't you think the spell card rules in Gensokyo right now is lacking a little something? Right, there you go. Especially in your case, since I'm sure you're sore about losing to Reimu, right? Shut up, I've won a few of those. So here's a new proposal for you. If you can't win one-on-one, why not try fighting in large group battles? The smile on Yukari's face kept growing bigger as she went on. However, the two were well aware that something fishy was always behind her smiles, and looked at her suspiciously. What? I thought those rules out carefully, yet still some people still aren't satisfied. Oh, they are very happy. In fact, that excellent agreement has worked out wonderfully. But you see, no matter how tasty a dish is, if you eat it every single day, what would you think of it then? Yeah, I like my miso to be different every day. If you want it to be different, then stop leeching off me and go make your own. And that's why I came up with a new set of rules. Tailored for team battles. Yukari puffed out her chest in pride as she spoke. She then seemingly stopped talking, but instead was waiting for questions about her rules before continuing on. Team battles? Is that like having one person from each team fight another, then the winner stays and the loser is removed from the troop battle? Of course not, they wouldn't be any different from the current spell card rules. I'm talking about everyone fighting each other at the same time. It was true that the spell card rules were created with one-on-one fights in mind. As Yukari said, it was yokai nature to seek one-on-one battles, so team battles were never taken into considerations. I did not know that. Well, probably just for part of the story, but I'm actually kind of curious if that's the yokai's nature just for a one-on-one battle. That's actually kind of cool if that's the case. Yukari's new rules went something like this. Choose a leader and the team becomes an army. Anyone, human, yokai or otherwise, can participate. Armies will have territories to be contested over, and so on. Basically, it could be thought as a typical strategy game of conquering areas. As soon as Yukari ended her briefing, she was immediately bombarded with questions. What do you mean by a leader? Just as it says, really, it'll be the person who leads the group. If the leader retreats from the game, the army has lost. Anyone can participate, so these unreliable fairies around here would work too. I see no problem, as long as they can fight and have someone to lead them. I'm sure there are people who may be weak individually but strong in a team. By territories, do you mean something like my shrine? Indeed, I've prepared a map that divides the areas of Gensokyo into territories. You can look at it later. The fact that she even prepared a map for it showed how motivated she was. It didn't seem like she would take no for an answer. But there was still one major problem. You said you wanted to get all of Gensokyo involved, but what about those who don't want to get involved or don't have any interest in this? It was a natural question given the circumstances, but Yukari's smile only grew wider as she prepared to answer it. Of course, there will be those who oppose it. That's why I included something very important as well. The last army left standing will have any wish they have granted. This will also encourage the defeated to cooperate with their conquerors. Aha! Now that sounds interesting. Marissa's interest perked up at Yukari's words. She was doubtlessly thinking of all the things she could wish for in her mind. It was far too early to count chickens before they hatched, but thus was her nature. Everyone loves festivals and parties, so with this incentive, I'm sure everyone will participate. Well, interesting, isn't it? You'll do it, right? Yukari grinned as she already knew what the answer was going to be. Reimu seemed to be considering it still, but Marissa had already fallen in love with the idea. I'll do it! I've got a ton of things I want. You should save that talk for if you actually win. Good point, good point. I ain't gonna lose in anything I do. Besides, with you and me together, there ain't nothing that we need to be afraid of. Wait a second, when did this turn into you forming a group with me? Hey, Yukari, I can join up with anyone I want, right? Yes, feel free to do as you please. There we go, let's do our best, hey? I'll put you two down as the Hakurei team. Now then, I should start informing other places who would likely join as well. Ah, so busy. What? Hey, Yukari! Wait! Reimu's cries were in vain as Yukari disappeared into a gap. A calming silence returned to the area. All that remained was Marissa smiling to herself and Reimu with her hand outstretched into thin air. That Yukari! She's usually so lazy about things, yet she's pumped up for this somehow. Jeez, so annoying. We ain't had anything major happen for a while, so this kind of thing sounds great, don't you think? It'll be a tasty way to kill some time. And hopefully we'll be the last one standing, huh? And so the territorial conquest that would sweep Gensokyo in its momentum began. Can the two of them really emerge victorious? You might as well try. I suppose you won't let me purposely lose to get it over with quickly, huh? Got that right.